Hi animators, welcome back to the second installment of the LazyBrush plugin for TV Paint tutorials. Today we're going to learn how to paint animation sequences using LazyBrush. Let's start with the basic jumping ball sequence. First of all, we need to create additional layers on which we're going to store scribbles and color segments. In order to do that, we're going to press the Create Layers with Background button on the TV Paint panel. On the boundary of the scribble layer, an initial background scribble is already placed, so there is no need to create it manually. Now we can start drawing scribbles. We're going to go to the first frame and click Set Foreground Scribble, which will activate the foreground scribble drawing mode. Now we select a desired color and start to draw scribbles on a couple of frames. Once we're done, we can press the Paint button to let LazyBrush paint the one frame. We can do this repeatedly for each frame. However, we can also select a bunch of frames and click the Paint button, and LazyBrush will paint them in one snap. For basic animations such as this one, we can also draw scribbles simultaneously for multiple animation frames. In order to do that, we create one scribble frame, which will be used for a bunch of animation frames. Then we paint one long scribble spanning the trajectory of the moving object and click the Paint button. So we can see the result is not what we intended it to be. The problem here is that LazyBrush uses a rule of majority when assigning color to a particular region. In this case, the violet scribble occupies a larger area of the canvas compared to the background scribble. To override the state, we just simply need to cover the canvas with a larger background scribble. To do that, we need to click the Set Background Scribble button and draw a couple of new background scribbles. Finally, we can click Paint, and after a while, we see that the animation was painted correctly. Let's now paint a more complex animation. As we can see, this sequence consists of multiple layers. We will start with the easiest one, which is the cat clean. First, we will hide all of the other layers and select the cat clean layer. Then we click Create Layers with Background on the TV Paint panel. And now we can start drawing scribbles. We go to the first frame, select a desired color, and click Set Foreground Scribble. Let's draw a first scribble and click the Paint button. We can continue on to the next frame and repeat the same process. We can also zoom in to see and correct some small mistakes. We can continue drawing scribbles on other frames. We can draw scribbles on all frames and then let LazyBrush paint them in one snap. The computation may take some time. Once done, we can inspect the animation and look for possible mistakes. Now we can proceed to Kid Clean that layer and use the same workflow. We're going to create the scribble layer and the color layers, select a color for the character's body, and switch to foreground scribble drawing mode. To avoid extensive color exchange, we draw the body color scribbles for all frames and then move on to the next parts. And we proceed the same way for the character's cap, hair, and jacket colors. We paint all frames in a batch and then correct possible mistakes caused by misplacing or forgetting scribbles. So here's the final animation. Thank you for watching, and we hope LazyBrush makes the coloring job less time-consuming and more enjoyable.